everybody. My name is Farah Ahmed. I'm here with Sue Howenstein, and I'm with the Fort Bend Voters League. She's with Fort Bend Can. We've done a number of these candidate conversations by Zoom. They've been quite popular. People enjoy listening to the candidates in a more kind of personal perspective than some of those larger forums. And we really hope that you all enjoy it. We're here. So glad to have Angel Hicks, who's running for Fort Bend ISD Board of Trustee. How are you, Angel?
I am well, I'm sorry.
You good? I didn't mean to cut you off, but you're doing good?
Yes, ma'am, I'm doing very fine. I just got off work, so it's like came home from work, came in and getting to it immediately.
There you are.
Campaigning is very stressful. I know. We've
all been candidates before, and I know Sue will have some questions to start off with you.
Okay, we'll start with something a little easy to try to make you feel comfortable. I think it's really important that people know who you are and why you're running. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What made you decide to run? Like, what do you hope to accomplish? That sort of thing.
Okay, well, my name is Angel Hicks. I'm running for Fort Bend ISD Board of Trustees, position number 5. I am a current teacher in the district. I am a 6th grade math master teacher at McCullough Middle School. I've been teaching in Fort Bend ISD for 9 years. This is the second year that I'm at. The second campus that I'm teaching at. I'm also a parent in the district. I have 2 students that attend a middle school and an elementary school in the district. And my oldest daughter, which is my 3rd child, she graduated from Hightower High School last year. She currently attends Southern University. Oh, I got one of them. Success on one of my kids, got him out the house and in college. One of the reasons why I wanted to run was when you're considering the state of education right now, a lot of educators are wanting to leave the profession. And I have a heart for education. And what I want to do is I want to bring that love back for the profession. I want to make sure that teachers are supported and heard. I want to be an actual teacher voice of a person who is actually in place to make policy, just to make sure that we are doing what the Fort Bend, what are they called? They're called my brain is going blank right now. The core beliefs, I'm sorry. The Fort Bend core beliefs speak about student achievement being directly tied to effective teachers. And that is the retention, the development, and the recruitment of them. And so what I would want us to do is to work on that retention part, because I know that we recruit them, we develop them pretty well. Our curriculum department is great, but we're having a hard time with keeping them. And so what I want to do is to help in that aspect of making sure that we're retaining teachers, making sure we're supporting them, and making sure that they have a voice to be heard.
Well, and just to clarify, it's not just Fort Bend ISD that's losing teachers. The entire profession is in turmoil right now. So for multiple reasons. Okay, so you've told us a little bit about yourself. As you know, most people never attend a board meeting. Most people, they have no idea who their board members are. They have never attended a board meeting. They don't know what you do. Can you please share with people what the role of a board member is?
A board member's role is pretty much to govern the district in which they reside over, me with 6 other people. So whatever decisions that are going to be made is going to have to take a majority vote of me and the other people that I'm going to be on the board with. We decide the budget for the district, like where the monies are supposed to go, the capital expenditures, the things that cover like the buildings, as well as the operational expenditures like teacher salaries and stuff like that. We are the people who vote on, not just me by myself, but me with 600 people are going to be deciding for that. We also evaluate the superintendent of the district, give her evaluation, make sure that she is operating within her roles and duties as a superintendent. So we pretty much are the people who govern, will be the people that govern Fort Bend ISD as a whole.
I think you make an excellent point, because I don't think they don't look at it this way, but you are 1/7 of one vote. I mean, the board speaks with one vote, so you're only 1/7 of the vote. and you have to work together. So I think that's a really important point. I'm glad you brought that up. Go ahead, Farah. Sorry.
And yeah, and no, and we were talking about, there's so much conversation about appraisals and home values, and the school board has nothing to do with that. I mean,
Right.
that's not, I think people just need to know that. And I think that, you know, one of the things that's coming up about public education in the Texas legislature is about vouchers. And, you know, there's discussion about families getting about $8,000 so they can shop around to the schools that they want to send their kids to, obviously making a statement that they don't want public education to be the best option for kids. They've decided that there's a better place for the kids to be educated, and taking that money, that tax money, and taking it somewhere else, or being offered tax credits to go somewhere else. What's your position on vouchers, and how do you feel that's going to impact public education?
Well, first and foremost, vouchers right now, Great Abbott has it attached to the title Parent Choice. And when I saw that, being a parent of children who are in the public school system and a teacher, I know that parental involvement is a very, very big part of student achievement. And so when I saw vouchers attached to Parent Choice, I was like, oh man, that's kind of making it seem like, you know, it's bringing parents in, but it's bringing them in a position to where they're going to want to move their students out of the public school system, instead of being pro-choice about them being in the public school system, making sure that they're involved in their schooling no matter where they're at. Because best practices have shown that one of the best ways to accelerate students' growth is when the parents are involved. And so what do I feel about vouchers? I feel that vouchers are going to take money away from the public school systems, the money that we could be using to retain and keep teachers, to put more money into resources for students. I really hope that a legislature does not pass, because all of the money that they have right now, I think they have a surplus that they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with the money. And that money actually needs to be put back into the public school systems, because like I said, that's money that we've been asking for anyway to help our programs develop more, especially for teachers and especially for lower income areas that where those inequities are as far as with parental involvement, because sometimes parental involvement is harder for certain parents to do than others. I know that we were talking about that one time in a group about the importance of a PTA. Like the school that I work at, we don't have one. And so one of the schools that had a PTA, but when I was working at Lake Olympia, we didn't have a track. Baines Middle School had a track, but Fort Bend ISD didn't purchase their track, their PTA did. And so a lot of times PTA involvement, parental involvement, community involvement in schools helps to advance the school also. But when you live in one of the communities where that's not big, then that is where the district is going to have to come in and provide those extra resources so that we can make things more equitable for all kids across the district. So I feel like the money that they're using, or that they're wanting to use with the words parent choice attached to it, I feel like those monies should not be given to parents for them to go to other schools. I feel like they should be put back into the public schools, getting us better resources, getting us more better teachers, so that the students in those lower income areas can have the same opportunities as the schools where they have more community and parental involvement.
Yeah, that's a good point that you've made, is how they put the parental involvement with funding issue, and the parents really don't know, when you take that money out, how much that's going to harm the school district. And now that funding on the school districts is based on enrollment and attendance, and you give so many options, you're going to dilute the system and the funding. You know, with the student enrollment, you're anticipating going down, and of course,
Yes.
That's a good point you've made. Well, I get to ask you so many more easy questions, it seems. and the next one is really the $1 billion bond that's going to be on the same ballot that you're going to be on, running as trustee. And that's shocking a lot of parents. There's a lot of discussion, movement for, against it. How do you feel about this bond? What's going to happen if it doesn't pass, or all those options? I know they've broken it down into three options? Are we gonna kick the can down the road? I mean, how are we gonna get this messaging out about the bond? And what are we gonna do if it doesn't pass? Like, how is it gonna impact the school district?
Okay, the fun question, the bond. So I'm pretty active on social media, and I know the big talk is the Clements rebuild. And that's the main part of the bond that a lot of people are not agreeing with. And because of that one piece, a lot of people are saying that they're going to vote no for Proposition A. And that's the part of the bond where we're supposed to be renovating and rebuilding more than just Clements as a campus. I posted something about the school that I currently work at, we're having plumbing issues in our district and in our school. And at one point in time, our plumbing got so bad that it started, like, the pipes burst within the school, and then it was like raining inside of the school. And one of the things that is on the bond for our campus is for our plumbing to get fixed. And I know somebody said that it shouldn't take a bond for them to fix the school, that they have, like, other monies that they can put in it. But I wanted to tell people about the issues that we're having at our school so that they can see that the bond is not based on one campus. The bond is going to be allocated to multiple campuses across the district. It's not just one school that's being rebuilt, it's three. It's two elementary campuses and one high school campus that they're trying to rebuild. And the reason why they're rebuilding them, of course, they can repair them. But when you think about the money that will be spent over the life of the school, it's cheaper now, over the long haul, to just rebuild them instead of having to continuously repair them over the life of the school.
Exactly.
And so for Proposition A, I really, really, really hope that they vote yes to that. Because, and another thing I wanted to put in people's minds is, imagine being a student in those buildings. Imagine being a teacher in the buildings where the plumbing is bad. Like, I was in the restroom today and I was like, I wanted to go home and use it because I didn't want to use it in the restrooms. Like, I feel like educators deserve a nice place to work. I feel like students deserve a nice campus or a nice building to go to school in. We're there for the majority of the day, So I know somebody stated, because like I said, I'm on social media a lot and they were talking about it. Somebody mentioned that if the bond doesn't pass, and we don't get our schools renovated, that we're going to lose teachers because of it. And I was just, you have to think about, like I said, our working conditions and us being comfortable and supported in a comfortable learning environment. Just like we want students to be supported, teachers need to be supported also. So for Proposition A, I'm completely for it, completely for it. Proposition B, I'm a technology person. I'm in school right now for learning technology and design, getting my master's in curriculum and instruction from the University of Houston. And Fort Bend ISD needs an upgrade in our broadband system because we're getting ready to take our STAR test, and we just got some new smart boards. I've been in the district for 9 years. I'm just now getting a smart board. So we're already kind of like behind on the current technology. And they also told us that when we're taking a STAR test, which is completely online, that we have to turn them off. Because if we're using too much internet, the computers are going to shut down. So that means that our internet system needs to be updated. It's old, right?
We don't have the capacity. Yeah.
It's an old situation. So when it comes to technology, I remember one of my coworkers came in, and when she came in my classroom, she couldn't believe that and this was like a year ago, she couldn't believe that we didn't have smart boards, because the district that she came from, she was just like, this is standard. Every school, every teacher should have one of these.
I thought we used to have them in every classroom.
Yeah, well,
Can you explain what that smart board is for those who haven't walked into a classroom? I'm thinking it's an iPad, but you're thinking something else.
No, my smart board, my hands, I'm like a hand person. So it's like, it's a projector, but it's not a projector. It's it's interactive. So you know how you have your projector and you can kind of like write on it, instead of it being projected from like the projector from the top of the classroom, it just pops up on the screen. And so whatever you want to do, you can touch it and the kids can be interactive with it and all of that type of stuff.
Kind of
And
like the weather map, right? On the news. You've got a
yeah,
weather
exactly.
like that.
That's a good way to
Oh,
explain
okay.
it. That's kind of cool. And so, yeah, we get to have like, I was in heaven when I finally got mine because we have markers and whiteboards and we have manipulatives where the kids can come and play with the stuff. And we have, because I teach math, so we have like the calculators that we can put on there. They can use the big calculator on the screen. Like it's so cool. But like I said, we just got them and I use it every day. I moved everything to sit right next to my smart board. I sit next to it. I hook my computer up to it and we just do everything with it now. But Prop B is going to be about updating our technology systems and giving, it says updating teacher and student devices. We as teachers I just got a new computer though. So I wonder, I gotta look more into what type of devices they're gonna update for us because my laptop is fairly new. But as far as
black hole, as far as money, and once you start, you have to constantly upgrade to keep up with what's happening, technology wise.
yeah,
So it's something that I can't imagine people not supporting.
right. Proposition B is not one that people are saying no to. It's more so of A that they are not wanting to vote for. And C, of course, with the natatorium, I'm kind of on the fence about that one. I know that they have one, they stay on the west side of the district and in the middle, and they wanted to put one over here. When you think about making it equitable across districts, then Proposition C would be great. I mean, across the district, it would be great so that we can have a natatorium on this side of the district for the students. But my main focus is more so the technology, the Prop A and Prop B, that I hope both of those actually pass so that we can have what we need. And like you said, school is moving towards, or education is moving towards technology. I learn about that every day in my grad school course, all of the different things that we're being upgraded to. And yeah, we got to make sure if we're going to upgrade our technology, if we're going to upgrade the things that we give the students to use technology wise, we're going to definitely have to upgrade our broadband so that our lessons won't cut off like they do a lot of times in the middle of a great engaging lesson. It's great, wonderful, everything is popping, and then boom, Miss Hicks, my internet doesn't work anymore, and we lose engagement, and then all kinds of other things start happening. So yes.
Thank you for that. I know Sue has some questions. We were talking about teacher morale and teacher pay and.
Yeah, I'm concerned. People really don't understand bonds. I mean, obviously they don't know that, well, most people don't know that you can't take bond money to pay teachers. So that's part of the argument that I'm hearing is, well, they're going to put all this money into like Clemens High School. Why not pay teachers with that money? That's not legal. You just can't do that. So my question is there a plan, or do you have some ideas for enhancing teacher pay, and not just teachers, across the board, all employees? We need to retain and entice, new
Yes.
people. So we need to be competitive with other school districts. I think we have been in the past. I'm not quite sure where we stand now, but we need to have a revenue stream or something to help our teachers.
Right. That's definitely a big topic because we didn't really get the raise that we wanted to get last year. I know HISD, they were giving out big money. And a lot of my coworkers,
reason.
yeah, a lot of my coworkers left Fort Bend to go to HISD because they were paying more. Yeah, it was I mean, when they got over there, I don't know if they liked the decision that they made, but the money was definitely a way to get them. Yes, because I know one of my coworkers, when she got there, she was a math specialist, and it was at a Rise campus, so they gave her like a $10,000 stipend plus another $5,000 stipend. They were giving her like money, but now she's a teacher. They ended up putting her back in the classroom. So it was kind of like just to get her there. And so as far as going back to the question that you said, as far as what can we do to free up some money for teachers? Because right now we're in a deficit. As far as trying to climb out of the hole, I really believe that the bond will help us, not necessarily paying the money directly from the bond to the teachers, but the bond can also help offset some of those operational maintenance expenses that we're using the money from our operational budget. So that the operational budget is what pays the educators, it what pays for like our benefits and all of that type of stuff. So if the bond doesn't pass, some of those maintenance things are going to still have to be paid. Yeah. And so what are we going to use to pay them? We're going to have to kind of probably dig into that budget that we're going, the operations budget for the maintenance, to make sure that those schools are up to par, that we can at least inhabit them, that we can at least be inside of the schools. And I think that, like you said, that people are not aware that if we don't pass the budget, like how that's going to affect if we don't pass the bond, how that's going to affect our budget also. Because some of that stuff we can offset, that will free up money so that if we do want to give our teachers some type of a raise, we could.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so that's something that I wish I could get to the voters and get them to understand that also, because the main, like the voucher that didn't pass in October, that was something that was going to go straight into the operational budgets for teachers, but we didn't pass that either. So the main revenue stream of a school district is property taxes, right? And so if we we need money to pay teachers. And so if we don't pass bonds, if we don't pass vouchers, then we can't get them the money that they need unless the legislation gives us some. And right now, the money that they're trying to give us is still not as much as if we were to pass like a bond or pass something to raise our revenue. So
I believe that is historically correct. I mean, that is something that we've constantly fought, is the money that is needed to run good schools is never available.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. So if we, and my stance too is, what if we can't find the money? What are we going to do? So I'm thinking a lot of times teachers say things like, I don't get paid enough to do all the things that I have to do, correct? So since we can't pay you enough, how about we lessen some of the things that you have to do as far as duties as expected, all the different paperwork, all of the just all the other duties that the teachers have to do, the discipline. And a lot of it comes from lack of support from like administration and just them not understanding and knowing what we need to function properly to be supported. And so if there's a possibility that we don't get to give the teachers the raises, what I would like to try to implement is something to give them more support. Maybe try to take some of all of the extra stuff off of them that sometimes administration passes down. Maybe give some of that responsibility back to others, and or try to find people or the people that are in the schools to give the teachers a little bit more support so that they can feel more comfortable about receiving the pay that they receive, not doing too much for the amount of money that they're getting.
I think you made a good point about the unintended consequences if this bond doesn't get passed. So you are going to impact teachers being able to get the supplies they need for their classroom. Some of them are paying out of pocket. And of course, their salary or bonuses or anything that could come directly from the district. Well, I think that was our last question. So we want to give you a chance to kind of do a closing statement, just speak to the voters on why they should come out and support candidates like you and let them hear what you want to say. And then I know Sue is going to make some closing remarks also.
Okay. Well, once again, my name is Angel Hicks. I am running for position 5. Make sure you look for the angel on the ballot when you come out and vote. I'm an educator in the district. I'm also a parent of 2 students in the district. My job or my vision is to be that voice for the people who feel like they don't have one. I know I've said it a lot as an educator. When people ask me questions, I'm just a teacher. I don't get to make those decisions. But right now, a lot of the things that I talk about are from conversations that me and my colleagues have had. I say that it's not just me speaking right now, it's teachers speaking. So when you do go out and vote, if you're a person who is for student achievement, you know that effective teachers are directly tied to student achievement. And I'm somebody that wants to be the voice of teachers to help Fort Bend ISD retain effective teachers so that our students can be successful. So make sure you vote for Angel Hicks when voting day comes.
Thank you, Angel. Thank you for making time for us here today.
Thank you.
Sue, you're on mute.
Just not
happen.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for joining us today. We know how busy you are at this point, and working and raising kids and trying to run a campaign is always challenging.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to thank you for coming. Thank you, Farah, for putting this together with me, or letting me put this together with you. And thanks to everyone that's watching. We hope you've seen the entire series and that you will, if you haven't, go and view the other interviews also. The election itself is on a Saturday. It's not your usual Tuesday election. It's Saturday, May the 6th, and you can vote from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. that day. Early voting starts Monday, April 24th and goes through Tuesday, May 2nd. The locations will vary from the normal. If you're used to voting and you have someplace you'd like to go, you might need to check that because there are very few things on the ballot this time around. There are no like Sugar Land or Missouri City elections. Many other cities don't have them. I think some do, but there's not necessarily in Fort Bend ISD. There are a couple of mud elections and water boards and things like that, but there won't be as many voting locations open. So be sure to check the elections office website because they have locations listed there. And like I said, the hours vary. So you want to check the day of the week, times of day. And you can vote if you live in Fort Bend County, you can vote at any Fort Bend County polling location that's open. So we hope you'll remember, we really need you to vote. It's really important. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you both.
Thank you, Angel. We hope to see you soon.
Thank you.